And welcome back to the week of Who Would Win's Ultimate Crescendo. Technically, the week of Who Would Win is now ending at the beginning of May. Actually, there's no technically about it. It is. And I mean, I still got Who Would Win tomorrow, but that's now going back into your regularly scheduled programming. We have from Blake Peters, Lord Hater from Wander Over Yonder, something I've never watched, versus, and I've done Lord Hater at least once, and the Ice King from Adventure Time, something I've watched intermittently, and I do like actually Adventure Time. Lord Hater is basically like one of the de facto villains of that series. I do know that. 1 second here. Let me get actually a bio up here real quick of him. He is the antagonist as well as the main antagonist of Disney Channel's Wander Over Yonder. He served as the main antagonist season 1 and the tritagonist as well as a secondary antagonist in Season 2. He's the supreme leader of the Hater Empire, once considered the greatest villain of Yonder Galaxy until later on. He resides on the Skull Ship and leads a primary army of cycloptic creatures known as Watchdogs, with one named Commander Peepers, serving as his right-hand man. He is the archenemy of Wander and Sylvia. Does he have a backstory at all here? No, but he's a power-hungry, short-tempered, evil, cruel dictator. That's really all you need to know. Despite his reputation as a feared galactic conqueror and all-around tyrant, Hater is exceedingly immature, prone to throwing tantrums and reacting irrationally. Seen on several occasions. His powers include energy manipulation, which includes lightning bolt, projecting yellow-green energy as his main offense and defense. It's fueled by his emotions, which are usually anger, including lightning bolts from his hands as a means of attacking his foes and punishing minions. It's also one of the few powers shown to neutralize Lord Dominier's power over lava. Great. Telekinesis, mental manipulation, moving things with your mind, that's easy. Force field generation. With enough motivation from people, he can project a planetary force field to protect it from Lord Dominier's drill, which destroys planets. So he can literally create a force field strong enough to protect planetary destruction. That is impressive. Teleportation. He can teleport to different locations, which causes the entire screen to be lit up, and lightning burns up immediately as areas he stood beforehand. So teleporting with lightning, cool. And he can fly. He has super strength. Hater can produce enough just pure strength to punch Emperor Awesome through a planet and throw his battle dinosaur into space. Like electricity is powered by his emotions. He again has planetary levels of strength, being able to punch one individual through a planet. Not punch through the planet itself, but actually punch someone with enough force to send them through a planet. So that's also impressive. Thermal resistance, incredibly resistant to heat, fire to the point of emerging from a pool of lava virtually unharmed. And he has cybernetic limbs. He has his entire right arm replaced with a mechanical look to avoid being stuck with Wander indefinitely. Okay, great. So he's actually, despite being immature, he's actually pretty powerful. The Ice King. Now, the Ice King, I do know more about his backstory because it's a very sad backstory, man. He was sometime before the Russian War, he was a normal olive-skinned, dark-haired human named Simon Petrikov, and was studying to be an antiquarian, a specialist in the knowledge of ancient artifacts. He had a fiancée named Betty, whom we referred to as Princess and loved dearly. It's revealed that he was a professor of archaeology and discovered the ancient text of heroes, and then he found the crown. Unfortunately, the crown, basically, the more he wore it, the more it basically robbed him of his sanity and turned him ultimately into the Ice King. Simon was known for his intelligence, kindness, and self-sacrifice. But unfortunately, the Ice King is misunderstood. He's lonely, only hopes for marrying a princess. Which unfortunately means he wants to marry the princess. I don't even remember. Bubblegum. That's her name. Bubblegum. Because he had a fiance and that was his princess. It's unfortunate that basically he has dementia, is what it is. It's very sad, but trade-off is he's extremely powerful based on the abilities bestowed on him by the crown, which mostly rely on things like ice and snow. He can cast ice lightning to freeze or strike a target, summon blizzards to cover an entire land in snow. He's also capable of creating various weapons or structures of ice. He can also animate beings of ice and snow, like the Isopede and Snowman soldiers. He can sense when someone's tampering with the snow in his area. And if it's not known, it's not known if he can use his ability with snow outside the Ice Kingdom. Outside of his cryokinesis, he can also fly by using his beard and by flapping his like a pair of wings aloft. He can withstand high temperatures like heat, and the Ice King's nose lengthens with near or wearing the crown, and shortens whenever he's far from it. The Ice King can be shown taking people into his imagination zone, where he is able to create illusions. He uses this power to try to convince Niftur to join him with the promise of princesses. He also has a power called Wizard Eyes, which makes him see strange things and puts him at risk. He's not fully conscious while he uses this power, and beyond the earthly realms, are revealed that the Wizard Eye allows him to see into the spirit world, explaining that the freaky creatures surrounding him were spirits, like Finn when he transported into the spirit world. The Ice King's crown also has prolonged his life and preserved him for millennia. Prolonged physical body is also given by the crown to the Ice King. Even though elderly, he has a rather strong physique, being able to carry people by one hand. This is especially odd given his frailty of his old bones. In the chamber of the Frozen Blades, the Ice King is shown to have studied the ice ninja arts of Fujitsu, and that his sanctum is filled with all sorts of ice ninja-esque weaponry and memorabilia. The Ice King is shown to be very skilled with the drums. Not that this matters at all. The Ice King is also shown to has also had the Demonic Wishing Eye and Ghost Pouch. The Demonic Wishing Eye powers were shown in Reign of Gunther, where Gunther used it temporarily to conquer the Dew. He's had these. He doesn't have them. But his weaknesses include his powers are directly tied to the crown, however. And if it's removed, it'll strip him of his abilities until he's put back on. And extreme heat and humidity also negate his powers. This is seen when his powers become weaker in heated chamber in the hidden dungeon. Despite having a mode of water, humidity in the area made it possible for the Ice King to convert any ambient water vapor into ice or frost. So, to be completely honest, this kind of seems like a mismatch. I don't mean in the sense that Ice King is going to get completely and utterly beaten like that, because Hayter's abilities are tied to his emotions. However, Ice King is not a planetary level threat. Lord Hayter clearly is a planetary level threat. He has displayed planetary levels of strength. He can create a force field that can block planetary levels of attack. And I have to assume that can translate to his offensive abilities as well, that if he's truly got pissed off and wanted to, he could blow up a planet with his sheer energy alone. We've seen that his powers translate to other aspects of that on a planetary level, so we have to believe it translates to his actual energy-based attacks as well. Now, Ice King does probably have a bit more variety when it comes to his abilities, so he might be able to stall him out, freeze him in ice and all that, but the problem is he's got planetary level of strength, so even if he freezes him in ice, he can just snap out of it. Hayter can survive being dipped in lava, whereas Ice King, while has a higher resistance thanks to his cold body temperature, to heat, he would not survive a dip in lava. Or at least he would not come out of there nearly unscathed. He'd probably come out of there extremely injured. Whereas Lord Hayter comes out nearly unscathed. If Lord Hayter basically comes to Adventure Time as a planet to conquer it, and he ends up in the Ice Kingdom, and the Ice King is immediately sensing someone's effing with his snow, Ice King goes to confront and says, who are you? I am Lord. I don't even know what Lord Hayter sounds like. I'm just doing a voice. I am Lord Hayter, and this planet will be mine. Well, you can have the planet, but the Snow Kingdom's mine. Leave Bubblegum alone. We're gonna get married. We're getting married, so I can't have my bride unhappy. It's like, you do not make demands. I make the demands. And it just fires lightning. There might be like a brief struggle, ice lightning versus standard lightning. It's like, ice, you're not bad. I've never seen ice lightning before. But the fact is, you're pissing me off. And then, he just overwhelms them. And the fight would continue until ultimately, unfortunately, Ice King Sandy plays a factor in this as well. Unfortunately, Lord Hayter is just has too much raw power versus Ice King. So, in my money, I'm going to probably go with Lord Hayter on this. But, anyone who knows both of these series more effectively than I do, please put your opinion in. I absolutely value it. And this is not... I very rarely am going to just stand on a hill and say, this is how I believe it is, and no one will change my mind. No, very rarely am I that confident in my opinion on one of these things. No, I feel like while the evidence for me points towards Hayter, That doesn't mean that would necessarily be the case. I think someone could probably make an argument for the Ice King, and I probably wouldn't disagree with it. I'm just saying, based on the evidence, I'm going Lord Hater. So that's my opinion, but what do you got? Do you got Lord Hater, or do you think the Ice King could pull out the win? I go Lord Hater, but let me know what you think. Till then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one.